very easy. Paper, pencil, and eraser.
老师讲今天只是用铅笔而已，铅笔 and 那个 eraser 那个擦胶啊。
And I am going to show you the picture we're gonna draw today. A very simple picture that if you later want to do as a painting, I think it will look nice. So we're gonna paint or draw just a sea turtle here.
Oh wow!
So we're gonna do this.
拍照，每个人拍照。
So you can go ahead and take a picture.
Oh boy!
Wow.
Okay, they're all taking pictures. So hold still.
Good.
Oh, this
So
is so
today we're
beautiful.
gonna draw it just black
Wow.
and white. But if you would like to do it later with paint and color, you should try it. It will look very nice.
Yeah, this is so nice.
And
Yeah. It's not just the turtle, it's the water and the reflection and the base of the ocean. Like, it's so beautiful.
yes, it looks very, very nice. I'm just gonna change it to black and white so you can, so it's easier for us to see it. Just 1 second.
Okay.
So because our drawing would be black and white, I like to change my pictures to black and white colors. So it's easier for me to see what's dark, what's light. Colors can get confusing. So you can also take a picture of this one if you'd like.
每个人拍照，这个是黑白的。
I think we should paint this one. It's very beautiful.
It is.
Sounds good. We can try it for painting next time.
Mm.
I'm gonna try to leave the actual picture on the side. Sorry, let me just grab something to put my, my phone on the side here. Okay, so the first thing I usually do, as always, is just try to think how big my drawing will be. The actual picture I have is just a square here. So I think I'm just gonna use a square in my sheet. And then I'll just grab my pencil. And as always, make sure it's nice and sharp and pointy. And the first thing I do, sorry, let me just fix this just a little bit tilted. Okay. So the first thing I'm do
跟那有一样的杠哈，前面这个刘海应该用大杠。
is I am going to transfer
太弯了。
the big shape. So I usually grab my pencil like this and point or measure the tip, so the head till the end, the tail. So it measures about this size, and then I transfer it here. I go closer to my eyes, so about here, but I try to remember how far I am from the paper because that's my measurement. I need to remember. So I am measuring this far from my pencil. So sorry, from my sheet. So again, I touch my drawing. You can touch the screen if you like on your screen or the picture you took. I measure how long this is. And then I go here, the distance, and I kind of measure how long it is going to be. So my first dot will be around here. sorry, it's just hard to, and then the other end would be around here. So what I'm actually doing is just setting a guideline for me for later. So that's the end, maybe. And I also measure the angle. So it's not straight, it's a little bit tilted like this. So I try to bring this same angle tilted all the way here, and it's about the same. So if I notice that my angle is here, but my pencil is straight, I need to tilt it. And what I wanted to focus on today is try to notice how much time your eyes are looking at the picture. We spend a lot of time looking at the drawing, but for a better drawing, you should spend at least 2/3 of the time you draw looking at the picture and only 1/3 looking at your sheet. So let's put a little dot over here. And then I'm gonna draw a big shape. So I'm gonna draw this right here. And remember, this doesn't have to be exact because this is a rough guideline. But I'm looking, so I look back and forth, back and forth. I don't imagine anything. So I see how round is this upper line. And then at the bottom, you see that I'm not going to the end, just a little bit here. I'm gonna finish the first set of shapes so you can get a better idea what to draw, but remember our first step is always the big basic shapes, always, and then we go into detail. So first step, always very light pressure. And this will get probably erased after, or most of it. And now I want to know how big is the head compared to the rest of the body. So I always measure the head. How many heads can I fit in the body? So this is what my head measures, and I can fit it 1, 2, 3, 3.5. So I think maybe it could be over here. From the tip to my finger, I should be able to fit 3.5 heads here. So if I think this is the measurement, so it would be 1, 2, 3.5. That was a lucky guess. Sometimes I have to play around a little bit more. So again, this section is 3.5, or fits 3.5 times in here. 1, 2, 3.5. And if you notice that the top here is almost touching the top of the head. The head is just a tiny bit lower. So I want to make sure I remember that. So if this is the top of the body here, the top of the head would be almost at the same line, maybe just a little bit under. And now I want to know how wide is the body right here. So again, I measure from the top to the bottom, this length. How many times can I fit it horizontally? So I can fit it 1, 2, 3 times. So this size is equal as a third of this. So I think a third would be around here. 1, 2, 3, not quite, maybe a bit more. So I think a third of this length would be just this. Let's try again. 1, 2, 3. I think that's about a third. So I put it, sorry, I can't fit my finger, but it would be around here, just a little bit lower. So I'm gonna finish this part and I'll review the measurements so you have a better idea. And then 1, 2, 1, 2. So what I always do is just take the lines that I already did and see how they compare to the rest of the drawing. So how small is the head compared to the rest of the body? We'll do it right here. So a little bit, so it's thinner. And I think it's more of a straight line. So remember, if you're looking for too long at your drawing, maybe you'll start imagining how the line should look like. So you can flick your eyes back and forth to make sure it's a good proportion here. And if I look at the picture, if I were to put a line going this way, just touching the bottom of the head, you can see that if I continue straight, that's where this section starts. Mine does not look like that. You see, if I put the same line like this, mine is way lower. So I need to fix that. So again, if I put my pencil like this at this angle, just touching the bottom of the head, and I continue straight, that's where my thing starts right here. At this point, your lines don't have to be nice. They can be a little bit messy. Just remember to go back to your drawing and make sure that's actually what you see. You can squint your eyes a little bit so you see the big shapes and don't get distracted by the details. Maybe this section can be flatter here, this line here. And this one can drop a little bit more. So I'm gonna leave it like that for now. I'll let you, we're missing the other side here, sorry. So I don't know if you look at the picture, you can see this is the line of the neck, and then here at the bottom, it's like the other side. So just a line right here. So while you finish the big outline, see that your measurements and proportions are right. So how do you do that? You take a part of the drawing and see how big it or small it is compared to the rest. So for example, I took the head. You said it was about 3. So from here to here, it's about 3, or this length is about 3.5 times the head. Sorry, measure from this side. 1, 2, 3.5. And this size, I think we said it was a third. Sorry. Can't remember if it was a third or half. 2. So it's a third. So I just need a smaller thing to measure. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. Just over 3. So I need to make it a tiny bit smaller here. Mine was too wide. So the next step is I am going to gently erase the lines I don't need. Don't want to erase it completely, but just the lines you're not really using. to have a more defined shape and we don't get confused after. And now I'm gonna start with a little bit more detail. So first, I'm gonna do this line right here. So I notice it goes along the edge right here. And about here, it starts to go up. It goes up all the way here. And it goes to the neck and then it goes up from here. So that was this line right here. There is a second line that follows the same, I guess the same shape here above this one. So again, I made this line right here. So it goes along the edge here. Right here, it starts to go up and then goes behind the neck. And there's a second line which follows the same shape on top. And then now I'm gonna draw, so she has 1, 2, 3, 4 lines right here. So I'm gonna draw those. So I think one is almost in the middle of my entire drawing. So I think halfway would be around here. There's another line going up. Another one around here. So I'm gonna give you a few minutes just to look at the shape of those lines. You see that at the bottom, they're kind of going left. As you go up, they end up pointing to the right. And pay attention to this little detail. So right here, my line stops because there's a horizontal line right here and then goes up. And here it goes up again. And now I'm gonna do these little lines along the edge going down.
Hello. Hi. Quạt cảnh bỏ sao chị Vân? Ok. Quạt cảnh bỏ. Ok, bye bye.
So one thing I notice here, I don't know if you can, I'm gonna share you a little bit more closely. You see this is not a completely straight line here. So it goes a little bit, goes down, a little bit, goes down, a little bit. So we're gonna indicate that it's not flat. So I'm gonna erase the bottom. And now this section has also a line underneath. I'm gonna do that and I'll let you catch up. So my line here starts right here, gets wider, and finishes right here. And there are lines. Now I'm going to draw the detail on the head and the neck. If you have too many lines, you can go over gently with your eraser. So it looks a little bit cleaner. Notice that if I were to connect these 2 points, I would see a line like this. So make sure that you can connect them easily. If this point right here is all the way up here and it looks like this, then you know you have to bring it lower. So the eye is like an almond shape like this. And then a line here and here. Oh, sorry, I need to sharpen my pencil. Let's try it with this one. It's a shape like this. It's not that dark, so I'm just gonna quickly. Okay. And then she has an upper eyelid and a lower eyelid. And that's dark. And there are some lines here that look like maybe wrinkles. But we're gonna get more into detail with our shading and colors. So you have 2 options. I'm gonna show you option number 1 is you manually draw each spot, black spot that you see. So I'm drawing them here. And you complete the shading inside each spot. Or option number 2, you need a sharp eraser. Maybe you can do this, or your kneaded eraser, you can put it in a pointy end. And option number 2 would be you just shade the area. So I'm gonna show you in this section right here. I'm gonna blend it. You can use your finger, paper towel. I'll just use a Q-tip. And with your eraser, you will draw the lines. I think this way is easier. It'll take less time. So they're not straight lines. So try to see what they look like, and then you just follow the patterns there. So if you see the head has more like circles, the bottom here is more like squares and a few circles in the middle. And then if it's too light, I did them too light, or if you don't really see the shape, you can go over it with the pencil, just coloring the exact part that you see. So the square or the circle or also a third option. Let me show you. If you had, after you erase, if you have the drawing kit, sometimes they come with a white pencil, charcoal pencil, so you can go over the lines with white. You don't need to do this, but if you have it, you can also do that. I'm not gonna do it, but an option you can do as well. So I am going to finish this section. So again, I color or shade this area. I grab paper towel or a Q-tip, just smooth it out. And with my eraser, the corner of my eraser, I'll draw the little lines. Sometimes if you only have this eraser, it can be a little bit thick, so you may have to go back with the pencil just to do the shapes a little bit better. If you have this one, it's a lot easier. Just make it into a pointy end like this and use it as a pencil. So you see, even with this, sometimes the lines can be too thick for what I need. So I go back with my pencil and just complete the shapes. At this point, it doesn't really have to be too exact to the picture. It's just patterns, so. I might do the center ones a little bit smaller, the little circles. So the ones at the bottom are quite defined here where it starts. They're not so much. I'm just gonna blend it a little bit. Gonna get the lower ones a little bit darker and also defined the edge a little bit more. I'm gonna finish the ones here around the head. And a line for the mouth. The nose has a little bit of a dark area. Now I'm gonna do the top. I'll just shade here, especially towards the center of each box. And I'm gonna do it pointing towards the outer or the lines. So I'll always go back to the center. So I'm not completely, or I'm not finishing each box. You see there's white space here at the bottom. That's what I want. And the lines we did earlier, I'm gonna go over them with the eraser because in the picture they're actually light. I'm not really blending this area because I want to show the little lines that go to the corners. So the middle is quite dark, and then at the edge you can see white lines. Again, the line we had drawn earlier going down is now white. If you color this too dark at the bottom, you can take your eraser, pointy, and then just erase a few lines here at the bottom. Don't blend. You want to see those lines. And then again, these lines that we have here, they're actually white. And then what's in the inside is dark. So I'm gonna gently erase them. I can still see the mark. But now I'm gonna color the inside here. Oops, sorry. So I'm gonna leave a space between this top area and my line right here. So if you notice, I colored the inside of this the rectangle, and then what I had drawn initially is actually white for blank space now. So the key is to have a pointy eraser, so you can use your eraser as if you were drawing with it. If you only have this one, you can always grab scissors and cut a little bit so you get a nice edge that you can use. You notice that I'm not spending too much time coloring inside because it's not a perfect color. I can see highlights and dark, so don't spend too much time, especially up here. It looks nice and rough. And we're gonna do the same thing at the bottom. So, but if you notice, the bottom is a lot lighter. So I'm gonna do a very light layer. And then I'll go over it with my eraser. So here at the bottom, very light layer, not touching the first lines I did first. Very, very light. Then I take the eraser and draw the lines again. This section is, I can blend a little bit. So I'm gonna do that. Just a little bit. And the last step for the total is just a little bit more detail on the shadows. And then we'll do a quick background and that would be it. So, oh, sorry, I forgot this area. So it has a few circles, dark circles. So I'm gonna do that. Not too many and not too big, just a little. A few details here and there. And this right side is darker because there's a shadow from the rest of the body right here, this triangle. Just gonna put, so again, I did just a few circles right here, or shapes, random shapes, and with my eraser around them. And then I'm gonna put a little bit more shadows right here. But to show that this is different, I'm gonna grab my eraser and I'm gonna indicate a line on this side right here and under the neck. It's actually light. Okay. I'm gonna draw lines up and down right here in the neck. I don't go completely to the bottom of the neck. And a few stronger lines to indicate kind of wrinkles she has there. I think I'm happy with my turtle here. So look where you need to add more stuff. More highlights or darker areas, darker spots. So what I just did again was adding a little bit of a dark spot around the neck. This shadow right here. And with my eraser, I erased under the neck to show a little bit of a highlight. And I'm just gonna color the background like this, very, very soft, just around the turtle. You see it's very rough, but I grab my Q-tip or my piece of paper towel or your finger, but just be careful you don't get other parts dirty after, and just blend it. Very, very soft shading on the background. And then, so this is even, but at the top, I'm gonna draw these lines that I see. And complete the shading inside of them. Doesn't have to be exactly like the picture, but just rough long lines like this. So the higher I go, the more space I leave in between the lines. If I'm lower here, I can draw them a bit closer together. Just random lines, really. I know it looks a little bit hard when you look at the picture, but the less you think about it, it turns out better. Just lines that go, curved lines that go up, and this one touches the one that is up there, goes down. And I'm just gonna blend a little bit, especially at the bottom. Very light. That's the water on top. So I'm going to review the background for those of you who are just starting the background. Around the turtle, I did very even shading here. And then I blended it with my Q-tip to make sure it's nice and even. If at one part, if at some point it's really blending with my turtle, I just went over with either the pencil to indicate where my turtle ends, or with an eraser. Both are okay, just making sure you show that they're not kind of blending together, the total versus the background. And then at the top, I just did lines left to right, kind of left to right. Then I go down and start a new line. I go up, start a new line. So I'm kind of forming very long diamond shapes in between the lines. And so at the bottom here, I'm still doing a little bit. I'm just gonna finish the background so you can see, but you can take your time. Whatever step you are at right now, I will go over it again. It's just easier to see the final result. So I just shaded a little bit more, blended with paper towel. And then I grab my eraser and then I start drawing. I use this one. Same idea, lines, the same lines I did up here, but this time I will be doing them with my eraser and more curved, so not so long. So I think I'm done. If you have the white pencil, you can go over your whites with the pencil. I'm not gonna do it. And once you're done, as always, you sign it